this week we have head coach Seb Hines Racing Louisville coming here on Saturday. Just let us know the kind of matchup you expect. The team that you only saw last month, so team you're probably a little familiar with. What do you expect on Saturday night?
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago we were playing them, obviously at their place, but they're coming to Interco Stadium. We want to bounce back from a disappointing result against Utah. I don't think it was a bad performance other than probably the first 20 minutes. And that's something that we've spoken about as a team. How do we start the game more on the front foot, more energy, more, drive to score that opening goal. But it's going to be a tough matchup. Louisville have done extremely well this year. They're a high pressing team, so we have to be mindful of that and got to really focus on our details to manipulate them to try and score goals.
Well, kind of going off a high pressing team like Utah was to another high pressing team like Racing, you said after the game that has to be expected against just in the league nowadays. Just how do you kind of build off of playing the game last week into this week, knowing that it's going to be a similar kind of pace?
Yeah, I think we played Utah's tempo. They dictated how the game was going to go in the first 20 minutes, and we can't allow ourselves to put ourselves in that position. Teams are coming to our environment. We need to set a tone early, and we kind of played into their hands in that first 20 minutes. But that's understandable at times. It's how you bounce back from that, and I thought the players bounced back from it really well. I think other than the first 20 minutes, it was a pretty dominant performance. We obviously got the equalising goal, and it looked like we were going to be the team that goes on to win the game. Great credit to Utah coming here and walking away with a point. Jimmy got them very organised and tough to beat, but again, we look at the opportunities that presented themselves and can we capitalise on them a little bit better and put ourselves in a position to win the game.
We've talked past couple of months about just starts to games and how you want to see better, you want to see the dictation of pace like you just mentioned. How do you kind of go about making sure that starts happening? It's been kind of a theme over the last couple months, even before the break. So what have you kind of worked on within the break to kind of start that momentum, and now kind of after last game, how do you push that forward more?
I think it's dictated by moments, and I think, again, just looking back at the last game, we do have a moment where it could result in a goal and we didn't take it. Credit to Utah because that was a great goal from them. It caught us all off and surprised us from the distance. But again, they took the opportunity well. I think we limited them to shots from distance as well. There's maybe one shot inside the box. But yeah, goals change games, and I think after you concede after 5 minutes, it can be a bit of an eye opener. Like, wow, we're 1-0 down after 5 minutes after not playing too badly. But yeah, I think it took us a while to get our minds right, and we had to adjust a few things. I thought the substitutions were impactful in the second half, and that's the role of a substitute. Can you come on and change the game? And I think our substitutes did that and helped us get a result in the end. But yeah, going back to your question, I think we want to set a tone, whether that's playing in behind a couple of times to make defenders turn and face their own goals, get corners, put them under pressure. We're still, discussing that, but yeah, we made it very clear that we want to score the opening goal and not give ourselves too much of a mountain to climb.
When you look back at that Louisville game in Louisville a couple months ago, what were you kind of able to discern from watching film about things that you noticed the team could do better against just against them in general?
Yeah, I think after the game, everyone's emotions are high. Sometimes the result is dictated, and you look internally and you think, the performance was bad, but the performance wasn't bad. It came down to multiple moments, but you look back at the goals conceded, it was from a corner and a penalty. So we've given them two gifts at the end, but I thought overall we played some good football. We played through the lines. We got into some really great positions to score. Now, can we put the ball in the back of the net? And it would be a completely different outcome to the game. And so, when we reviewed it with the team, they're obviously disappointed because we lost 2-0 and we never want to lose. But when you look back and take away the emotions, it was a good performance. But we can't allow teams to have a 2-goal lead on us.
Now you get Marta and Ange back after winning Copa America. Just having them back in the fold, what does that mean for you to have those quality players back?
Yeah, I think going into this game, it's great because we've got so many options now. You mentioned Marta and Ange, and brilliant for them to come away with winning the competition in the manner that they did, and again coming back into our environment, having 2 quality players coming back into the environment to be options, as well as getting Lou and Simone back from SEI. Listen, this is a competitive roster, and decisions are becoming difficult because we have options here, and players coming back from injury, players coming back from international duty. So we want to maintain a high standard, and so it's taking your opportunities when they present themselves when you step onto that field, and knowing that someone is right behind you wanting to be on the field as well. So it's only gonna help us continue to move in that direction of what we want.
Just wondering, what was your reaction to Marta's game-tying goal in the final?
It was meant to be for her. It's written in the stars sometimes. I'm sure she was disappointed not to start in that game, but again, it goes back to knowing your role. If you're going to come off the bench, can you make an impact? And she certainly did, with obviously the equalising goal, and then taking the lead. And when you think it's all coming together, you think she's going to score the winning penalty, but it wasn't to be. But happy for Brazil to come away with winning the competition.
Finally, today was announced Marta and Barbara Banda got Ballon d'Or Women Football of the Year nominees, and the club is also one of the 5 top women's clubs in the world per Ballon d'Or. Just what does that mean for the club? Not only the 2 nominees, but to have the pride up there with the top teams in the world.
Yeah, I think to look at it holistically, it's probably not a position that we've found ourselves too often. Credit to those 2 individuals because they've put a lot of work into it. It's great that they're getting that recognition for their efforts, and once you're on the stage, it's making sure that you're presenting yourself in the right manner, and we're just so proud of them. And then obviously with the team, massive achievement for the team and what they achieved last year, and again to be in that sort of company and getting the recognition not only for as a club, but the recognition from the league worldwide is massive. We want to be on the biggest stage, and to be in that group of top clubs worldwide knows that we're doing something right here, and so we want that to continue. Fingers crossed it goes our way as well. I know it's going to be challenging, but it's just showing that NWSL is certainly on the map for everyone worldwide, and it's really encouraging to see that. So credit to everyone, not only the players but the staff, because they've put a lot of work into it as well. So very grateful to be given that opportunity to win the Ballon d'Or.
Great, thanks, Seb.
Thank you.